Show the Nuffle Shuffle. My apologies. We usually do it on a Sunday, but various things have happened, and unfortunately, we've had to wait until today. But that's not a bad thing because people who've got nothing to do can listen in and watch it on a Tuesday morning. And wow, what's happened this week has been amazing. I mean, basically, we've had the playoffs finally start on the Ps4. Yes, it does live, yes. We've had the playoffs start on the PS4. We've had some crazy stuff, what me and my co-announcer will be talking about. I had an absolute pleasure on the Blood on the Box, the Xbox version of this, with Space Magic W, who must be one of the best console players in the game by far. And we had a hilarious talk about various things, including iguanas and dogs for interesting reasons. So if you haven't seen that, it's always a good fun to watch that as well. But today, you know, the playoffs have started. So there's only ever one coach we had to bring on the show. The guy who can predict the winner of the Blood Bowl competition. So if you haven't got time to watch all the games and all that, you just want to know the winner. Well, I've got Mystic Ted, aka Teddy Tom, with me today, and he's going to tell you later on in the show who is going to win and anyone who he thinks might shock. So, good morning, Teddy. How are we feeling today, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good, Bernie. Thanks for letting me come on, and sorry if I've causing delay. Just been having one of those last couple of days, just being hectic. So glad I can come on and help you out best I can, and thanks. And I hope everyone enjoys it.
Yeah, it's not your fault, buddy. It's various things. I mean, to be honest, the week just gone, I forgot to ask anybody who wanted to come on the show, and that was the problem. And then obviously, I obviously left at the last minute, and I was saying, Craig, I really need Teddy on the show because obviously you're very good with your predictions and that, and I know you're very popular on the PS4 circuit with a lot of your announcing you do and various other stuff, and you're always very insightful, and you are the PS4 anorak, and the PS4 team will need you today because obviously it's 4-3 in the battle of the consoles, so the PS4 are winning. The problem is Space Magic W. Not only is he a very good coach, he's bloody good at knowing his stuff. He got 6 questions out of 6 right, so you've got a challenge in the Battle of Consoles today. So hopefully you'll be able to at least get a draw there. That would be a pretty good achievement. But let's get on with the show then. I really want to have a look at the playoffs, but before that, we'll obviously have to go into the pole position first. Season 10 has started. And it's for cash now. So obviously a lot of the big guns, the mercenaries, and everybody else have all come out the woodwork. And I suppose it's a good thing because obviously we're getting a lot more games. Now I know, bless him, Tripperus was trying to hang on to that top spot so he would be in the pole position. But unfortunately, he didn't. It was a Chaos Dwarf. I am fed up of seeing Chaos Dwarfs. They should all die a horrible death. They are so annoying. All I freaking play against. Oh, what am I going to play today? Chaos Dwarf. Fantastic. And then they've got people and my friends moaning that they're playing bloody freaking halflings. I'd bite someone's arm off for a game against halflings. But yeah, so official now. Had a bit of a bad day at the office yesterday. Got beat by Tripperus. I think he was in overtime. I didn't see the game, but he's back again. This time he's gone with Case Dwarfs. He went with Dwarfs last time round. So another Case Dwarf team. They're doing me. I did. I'm going to ask you in a minute. If we just go to his team first, Teddy, the blues and yellows.
Yeah, the blue and yellows.
Yeah, and then we'll have a look. If you want to tell us what you like about this team while I'm getting everything done, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, 1940 already. Jesus. It's a high TV.
There we go. Finally can get on it.
I'm still waiting to get on as well. Here we go. There we go. Oh, God, dear me. So, what do you think of the team then, Ted?
Well, he's got a Minotaur, which is always nice. It's not as good as a Chaos Minotaur, but still something interesting to have. Ball Centaurs are just getting across nicely. Although I was expecting them to be a bit more skilled up, considering how much TV he's got.
Yeah.
It's interesting he's gone for 3 cheerleaders and 3 coach assistants as well. It's a bit unorthodox, since Chaos don't really need to win the reroll. I mean, it is nice, but you know, just they don't really fail much anyway. Especially this team when you see 2 hobgoblins with AG4.
Yeah, I mean, It's just crazy, isn't it? That I mean, I've seen official do this before, where he has like a lot of coach assistants, a lot of cheerleaders, and like I say, it's. I mean, granted, he's going to win the role, and I suppose that's what he wants. The more rerolls he's got, the better, and obviously he stops the other guy from getting a reroll as well. But I've seen him before. I'm sure I've seen him before with about 5, 7 coach assistants. What's a crazy amount of TV?
Yeah, and then eventually it does pile up because that's like what 60k, and that's roughly just under a Chaos Dwarf price.
Yeah, and a Beastman of my case team, that's a cost for Beastman. So it's quite interesting. But like I said, if you want an extra reroll, fair enough. I'm not a big fan of Minotaurs. Never have been. If they had the mutation on a normal roll, then I'd be a lot more forgiving on them. But for the same price as a case, well, I think they're bad value. But that's just me. He's got a nice strength 4, agility 4 hobgoblin. What needs to die? He's got an agility 4 hobgoblin as well. Mighty blow claw piece is always scary. And a case draw blocker, strength 4, mighty blow guard. So he's got some nice pieces there already. And this is one of those teams where you plead with with your fellow coaches, destroy it before it gets even any worse. But I mean, he's got no enhancement yet. I mean, he's level 2. 12 wins, 3 draws, 1 loss, so record is good. I'm just trying to see if I can find out who beat him.
Triforus, remember? We were just discussing it.
No, that was in the playoffs. This is...
in the playoffs.
I'm just trying to... I think it beat the champs, Bad Moon Wolves.
Quickly have a look.
Hey, Gimlick, you alright, buddy?
It looks like a Necro Tomb, the Tombstone Terrors. They lost 2-0.
There you go. That's why you're on the shot and Blan as a bat. Yeah, I actually played this team as well with my the Great White Sharks, and we had to hang on. I mean, everything you hit just broke. And like I said, they're a decent team. He's a good coach. He's a good, solid coach. But my philosophy is that if he's on a bad day at the office, he can sometimes tilt. A lot of people can do that, but I always think got a chance against him if the rolls don't go his way. But it's top at the moment. It plays a lot of games. I have no doubt that this team is going to be scary in the long run. Yeah. And he's got to be stopped before he gets too crazy.
Yeah, I just think he for his TV, I think he's just carrying a little bit too much blow. I mean, he has got 14 players. Mm-hmm. And then the 3 cheerleaders and 3 coaching assistants. And plus, these Chaos Dwarfs look like they've taken quite a beating as well. He's got 2 with a niggle, and then a minus AV.
Yeah, I think he always says, I mean, even with his dwarfs, he has a big bench, he likes a big bench. And I can totally understand that because my players get busted up all the time, and there's nothing worse than playing a second half and having 7-8 players, and that's the problem I have with my chaos. It's like I've stopped my opponent from scoring in their drive, but the problem is I've got about 6-7 players left for my drive, and obviously then I get stopped myself. So I can understand that, and since I've gone to 13 players myself, my results have been a lot better. It doesn't help that obviously my team's there in 3rd place, but 2 of them are blue screens, what again I'm really annoyed about. It's something, and I've been speaking to Gillimer on the admin team today about it. Blue screens, they need to sort something out about it. I know they're always working hard on stuff, and I appreciate all the work they do, but something's going to have to be done with blue screens because it's turning people away. And like I said, I should have like a 4. I mean, it's still not a brilliant record, but I should have like a 13-7-3 or a 14-6-3. And no fault of my own, I've got blue screens, and I'm not the only one. There's a lot of players who've had the same thing. And it's a shame because it never happened. I don't know about you, but it never happens to me on any other game apart from Blood Bowl. So it's obviously an issue between the PS4 console and the Blood Bowl itself. And I think they've got to sort it. It's not good enough now. I mean, if this was a problem on the PC, it would have been resolved. Is what most people said to me. They've got this thing that Benny, they're not bothered because it's not the PC. And I think it's a bit harsh on that because I think Cyanide have done a lot for the PS4 community and the Xbox community as well. But, it is frustrating. And we'll maybe talk about it a bit later on because I don't want to get into the soapbox already. But, that's something that needs to be resolved. But again, looking at this, Uber the Noober, he must hate me. That Necro guy. He's been kicking everyone's ass and... I've got a good record against him, bless him, the Necro guy. But blue screens are killing the game. Yeah, they are. I mean, we'll go on with it. We'll go on to it later on. It's my fault. I've started the soapbox really early on. It's something that's annoyed me the last few days, to be fair. But we'll go on to that later on. So there's the blue and yellows. Can you see him qualifying? I know it's early days. I know we're only about a week old, but can you see him qualifying with his team, Trip? What am I saying? Trip? Teddy, sorry. Teddy, can you see him qualifying with these blues and yellows?
Yeah, I can see the Chaos Dwarf team qualifying. I think they're quite solid at the moment, but they just have to be wary a little bit because they can all fall apart quite quickly.
Yeah, I mean, if he runs into some nasty Chaos teams with Claw, that could be a problem. But yeah, I mean, again, there's so much I want to talk about. You know, there's so much I want to bitch about, but it's not the part of the show to bitch about. I can't because we'll be here all day. Oh, Case Dwarfs, they do my head in, really do. But we'll talk about it later because I'll never ever stop if I start now. Let's go on to something really positive. Usually we'll have a look at season 10 in more detail later on or in other episodes. The thing I really want to talk about today is the playoffs. The season 9 playoffs have started, and wow, it's been amazing, absolutely amazing. I mean, we're so lucky on the PS4 to always have fantastic games. The first game of the season was a bit unfortunate because it was a 6-1 blowout. So it wasn't an exciting game. The poor Goblins had a bad day at the office with the against the Wood Elves. But I don't know if Teddy's there. But I'm just going to go into the Champions Cup season 9, and we'll have a look through there. Obviously the schedule and everything. And oh man, I'm so annoyed. I've played in every playoffs. That's 9 playoffs, and every freaking season I look at matchups and think, oh, I don't want to play them. Oh, they're a bad draw. And yet again, thanks to Gimlick the champ going on and on about, you know what, Benny, me and you are going to get matched up. Yeah, we are. I'm like, shut up, don't say it. And what happened? My Full Moon Killers against one of the few teams. The teams I didn't want to play was Trippers' team because that is a nasty team. And Moonlight because his team is just better than mine. Necro. So those are 2 teams I really wanted to miss. And yeah, well, I missed the Trippers team, but then went smashed right into the Champs team. So yet again, you know, my case with a draw is as bad as my tipping. So, you know, there you go. Now then, we've got Teddy with us. Have you seen any of these games yet, Ted, or not?
I've seen a couple. The one I watched a lot of was the Amazon Lizard team. Lizards coached by SC White. And that was a really cracky game. And White just got a bit unfortunate near the end. He failed a GF5 to score and then failed on the penalty kicks. And I thought that was a bit cool.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is cruel. It is cruel. I mean, I didn't get to watch much yesterday because The Walking Dead was on, so the missus had the TV. So there's no way I was going to wrangle that away from her at that time of the day. But yeah, I mean, I watched that and I was like, "What are the Amazons? What are you doing? You're so dominant. Why is he still in this game, SC White?" And he just showed you how much of a good coach Wyatt was. I mean, he was down on numbers. Everything was going wrong. and I got a lot of feedback here. God, I think I've gone pretty crazy. It's crazy. I mean, SCY should have been beaten, but it wasn't. And well, it then basically. Oh, we got problem with Teddy. Tom. Hey there, Teddy. I think Teddy's sort of. Oh, there we go. So yeah, I was just. Oh, maybe not. Got a little live Twitch.
I was just saying how.
You there, Ted?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me, Teddy?
You can hear me now, right?
Yeah, you just made me come through twice and everyone's like, 2 birdies? Oh my god, he's going so loud!
Oh, sorry.
It's all right, buddy. I was just saying about obviously you was on about that game between obviously SC White and then I was like, how on earth does the Amazon guy not put him away? He had the numbers and everything, and he was just a testament how good of a coach SC White was. And obviously when that GFI went through, I was like, oh my god, it's happened a lot. The thing is, I remember Dinar, he was going to win the championship, and he failed the GFI to win him the gold crown. And against Rez, and Rez went to the other end and won it. And obviously again there, and it's the first time we've had it where penalties since the first game of the first season. So it's a cruel way to go. I know this. I would rather it play on. Even if it's 30-10s, 40-10s, even if it's last man standing, I think that's a lot better way to do it than penalties. Because there's no skill involved in penalties. There really isn't. And, it just sucks, basically, in my opinion. But, it was a cruel one.
Some sort of skill in penalty kicks. If you look after the re-rolls, you get extra kicks.
Well, yeah, but it's not a good way of doing it, is it?
We just have to accept.
I think we're getting a bit of a problem.
Ted.
I think I'm coming through again.
Two Bernies are back.
Woohoo! With music.
Today, sorry.
There we go. Are you back, Ted?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, you keep.
It's
doing it again. Do you want to log out and log back in, or it's bad enough them getting Bernie once, again Bernie twice here. It's like two Bernies saying the same thing twice, and they're like 2 Bernies. Oh dear. Well, are you there, Ted? Are we still got you?
Hopefully.
Okay, right. So yeah, that game was a cruel one. I mean, obviously you tipped the winner last season, so we've got to ask you. The fans want to know. Gimlick saying, "Kill the sound on TV, Teddy. Might be better then." That's from the champ.
My TV's muted.
TV's muted. You just if we could hear a lot of music, like the Bloodbowl music.
Don't
know.
Quickly go into my settings and then
crazy.
Turn it off there.
Yeah. So basically, what everybody wants to know, obviously, last season you said Gimlick will win the championship. You got most of the things right, apart from obviously me winning because I lost. So I'll let you down there.
Yeah.
So bad me. Who's going to win it? I want you to tell me who's going to win this season and who is the dark horse who will surprise people. That is your two things to tell us. So whenever you're ready, take us away and tell us why.
No problem, Bernie. Hopefully I should sound better now. I've just quickly changed the sounds.
You are?
In pyjamas, I can't fucking believe it.
I think the winner of season 9.
Who is? I see there's deathly silence. Everybody's leaning on the chair waiting for Teddy to say the winner is.
Sorry, I'm having like 3 different conversations at the moment.
Yeah.
But the winner of season 9, I think, will be Lemons, the Skaven coached by Pro Jeffrey.
Oh, really? Woo! Let's go and see them. That is something I am gobsmacked over. Let's have a look. Where is Lemons? There they are. Well, there we go. You heard it first. Lemons. Projecki.
Yeah, Projecki. I played him way back in the day before the Cladder was a thing.
Okay.
And he's a very solid coach, probably one of the best Skaven coaches I played against. We all talk about how the current champ Gimlick is quite a necro expert. Projecki's definitely a Skaven expert, and he certainly knows what he's doing. And I did play against him this season in the Cladder. I did sneak away with a win, but I was very fortunate in the Nuffle.
Yeah.
In that matchup.
It's interesting because his record's not great, mate. 18 wins, 2 draws, 9 losses. So it's not like one of these, perfect records. But he did beat the champ, Gimlick, 1-0. And he beat Slim Lizzie's, who didn't qualify, unfortunately, but he was beating a lot of the big teams as well. So there's definitely some good wins in there as well. So I can see where you're coming from. And obviously with Skaven as well, sometimes it comes down to the numbers. He got beat by the mighty Danarox Bezos Lizards. I'm just looking at what else has happened. He beat Ratatoons, another Skaven guy. That was Yukito's team. Yukito's a very good Skaven player. So and like I say, he's got some good wins in there. But overall, I suppose his record isn't great. Like I said, it would have been my choice, but it's interesting to see because obviously last season you went with a guy who expertised in obviously in Necro. I must admit, I played Lemons with my Full Moon Killers and won 2-0, and without being disrespectful, my team was in cruise control all the way through. I thought he was a decent coach. I've seen him play before. I think he's a better Kislev coach. That's just my own opinion.
Yeah.
When I've seen him play both, and when I've talked to other coaches, they said, "God, that projector with Kislev, he is a nightmare." And I know for a fact a lot of people were quite happy that he went with Skaven. Unfortunately, him going Skaven knocked you out of your bloody wildcard spot, because if he'd have kept Kislev, you would have been in the bloody playoffs. But
it's just how it is. But I'm completely fine with it.
Yeah. But I'm surprised you were going for Lemons. But then again, some people were surprised last year. Gimlick, he's never been in the playoffs. He can't win it, surely. And he did. So, if that's your tip, then so be it. I tell you what, if that team wins, I will be so amazed. And I'll be asking you for the lottery numbers, because there's a lot of teams I picked. And unfortunately, and this is no disrespect to the coach, because he's a good coach, this was a team I did not look at all to win the competition.
Yeah.
I could see you'd have a good chance of getting through the first round against kind of a big deal Mercy Flush. I think that's going to be a good game. But, you know your stuff, buddy. You know your stuff. And if you're saying to me Lemons are going to go through, then, hey, I'm not going to argue with you. Now then, which team do you think is going to surprise people? Is there any team you think, he's going to do better than they think?
I was kind of thinking a couple teams I thought could do well. And the team I had to go with, I think it's a little bit biased, but I had Gasselmine and Gasselmail, I should say, the Underworld. The Port Flashes are just another Underworld team I really like. It's just quite solid. I have played against him as well, and Gasselmine always seems to get away with good results. He does play a lot better in our exchanges, and I really like this Underworld team. I see him doing very well with them. And people might underestimate Underworld a little bit.
Yeah, the thing is though, Ted, Gassamal can play with anything, can't he? I mean, he's a great coach, plays with everything. I think I upset him though, because I beat his Kislev 3-0, and obviously Gassamal doesn't lose 3-0, and he unfriended me. I was so heartbroken. I was like, come on, man! I beat you. I mean, you beat me in a bloody final. Surely me beating up your Kislev isn't grounds for unfriending me. I was like, oh, that's terrible. But his teams are always good. He doesn't lose many, and I've been saying about this team for a long time now that this team has got to. I've got to have a great chance. They've got a good draw as well, so I can see them going through. And these and Shaggrath's Vampires, I thought, are the two legendary teams could go quite far in the competition. I've said on the Nuffle Show many times, I have a feeling one of these legendary teams is going to go really far to maybe the semi-finals or even maybe the finals. And I agree with you. Gasselmal's a team. People say Underworld, but look at his team. It's really good. He's got plenty of claw in there. Yeah. Movement, two-headed goblins, so he's dodging on 2+. Big hand goblins. It is a really, really nice team, and and obviously got the Nuffle also as well to make 50k cheaper. 13 wins, 6 draws, 3 losses is a fantastic record with Underworld. And oh man, it's just a great team, isn't it? I can see him going really, really well. I think he'll get through the first round. I honestly do. Obviously,
and the good thing. Oh, sorry.
I'll just say, beat your guys all 2-1 and the draw 1-1. So you've obviously, like I said, played him a few times as well. So I mean, I know Gassama is a fantastic coach, brilliant coach, and definitely one of the better ones. He doesn't seem to get the. My feeling is he doesn't seem to be in the spotlight as much as like an Arzawayne or a Sergal. that sort of type of play. But he's got just as good a records as them, and like the other two, he's a champion as well, and he's a beaten finalist as well. So he's got form completely. Like I said, a sign of a good coach is when you can give him any team and they can just have a great record with them, and that's what Gastelmal does. So I totally agree. I totally agree with. What other teams was you looking at? What you thought do quite well?
No, I was going to also add that even though Gas's team also looks great as well, he's only 1490 in team value, so most of the time he's going to get inducements, and that's really going to be scary. Like, you look at his team, it's like, oh man, I don't want to play it. Plus, you're going to give him extra inducements, like what is it, Fungus?
Yeah, Fungus Saloon, yeah. So
that's it. Fungus Saloon, the chainsaw.
That's why he's gone for
any of this.
Yeah, and that's why he's gone for the Nuffle altar, 50 grand cheaper. So what's that? But Fungus Saloon's going to be about 10, 20k. And obviously he's playing at home as well, but is massive, so obviously the Nuffle alt will come in. He's against Los Senoritas, who obviously last season had that amazing game against Triporis' Norse, and it was, apart from the final, I think it was the best game out of the full competition. And, it should be a great one. There's going to be no Griff saving the Bretts this time around, though, because they're both very similar TV value. I still think Gastelmal will get through that game, though. But like I said, it's a really, really good team. And I think they'll go quite far. One team I want to have a look at is Mutt's team, Ratastical. I see you picked the other Skaven team, obviously, to win the thing. I just want you to let me know what you think about Mutt's team. Now, the reason I bring that up is because we've always talked about PC coaches coming over to the Xbox or to the PS4. You've seen myself go from the PS4 to the Xbox, where I qualified under my gamer tag Lord Jargonius. I've done it, but this is the first coach I know of who's properly come over from the Xbox, who's done really well. I mean, Mutt's one of the better coaches on the Xbox. He's come over to the PS4, and he has a really impressive record. His team is really good. Agility 5, Movement 10, Gutter Runner, a Mighty Blow Tackle, Claw Piece. And this guy excels at playing Skaven. Just like Teddy was on about, obviously, Projecki, I know this guy excels at playing Skaven on the Xbox. And this is my tip to surprise people, because I don't think many people know who this guy is, especially if you're a PS4 coach. But I can tell you now, if you're telling me Projecki is a really good Skaven coach, I believe this guy is 10 times better. He's that good. So what do you think of this team? Did you have a look at this team? I
have had a look. I think it's quite a solid Skaven team. I just like Projecki's team over this team. But unlike you, Bernie, I'm a bit biased, as you said earlier. I haven't really seen him play that many games. I've seen him play maybe one or two, so I can't say for certain how well he is when I compare him to Pro.
Yeah, you can.
It's still a solid Skaven team nonetheless.
Yeah, you can only go. You got to basically go with what you know, and you know that Projecki is a very good coach. I mean, I might be a bit unfair with Projecki. Just I would be more scared of Projecki if he took his Kislev, because I like to say, I talk to a lot of coaches on the PS4, and when we talk about other players or new players or we haven't seen for a while, people have said, "Oh God, that Projecki he plays Kislev so good. He's a pain in the backside." But I've never heard anyone say anything about his rat, apart from obviously yourself. And but like I said, when I played him, maybe it's one of those games where everything went right for me and not so much on him, and I got a bit of an easy game than I should have. Maybe in one of those games, but I would rather play his rat than play his Kislev. And I've seen Mutt play a lot on the Xbox, so that's where my experience comes in. And I've also seen him play on the PS4. He's been ripping up on the PS4. He's been ripping up on the Xbox. He's a top-class coach. And I just wanted, with you saying about, obviously, Gastelmal's team, I just wanted to put my dark horse out there, and this is my dark horse because not many people know. But unfortunately, he's drawn up against Demented and his Wood Elves. Oh my God, that was just about as bad a draw as you can get. I don't know how much Mutt knows about Demented, but Demented is probably one of my favourite coaches. Is easily, in my humble opinion, the best Wood Elf coach on the PS4, bar none. His positioning is always top class, and this is a game I can't wait to see. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be tomorrow in the early hours of the morning for me, about 3:30 a.m. I don't know if I can stay up to watch that. I will probably try. There's no way I can announce at that time in the morning because I'll wake the missus up and she'll kill me. But it's going to be an amazing game. If he'd have drawn someone easier, I could see this guy going well. But again, It could be Demented. I think we'll be in for a high scoring match like a 3-4-4-3. But that is my dark horse, Ratastical. And I tell you what, if he beats Demented, then people will say, this guy's the real deal. So that's my tip. So hey, can you see? I mean, can you see the champ do what nobody else has done and win it on the bounce? Could you see that, or do you think it's just going to be a step too far? Because nobody else has done it. I mean, we've had Arzaway and he failed, Gasamal, he failed. We've had so many good coaches. I think it just proves how hard it is to win one, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we can't underestimate any champion of winning it back to back again. I just think the Gimlick, though, I think he might have a tough time with how he's going to be playing. I think the first match he's got is against the Full Moon Killers, which I believe is your team.
It is.
So he's got a tough Necro match there, and then probably his next match will probably be against tougher teams. So he'll probably just get tougher and tougher, and probably he won't get the same amount of fortune, and a lot of people will be trying harder because they won't underestimate a champion. And I think he might just fall short. I could definitely see him get to the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
But I think he might just slip up there.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I mean, my team against his team, his team is far superior in every department, more guard, more strength, more everything. So, I mean, I suppose his concern is obviously I could take a few guys with me, and if I obviously took out his Wolf or something like that, then it's got to really wreck his team. I can see him winning it, but it's what his team's going to be left with, because I will, as I've always done, I will fight tooth and nail, and if that means fouling, piling on, whatever, I always make sure, even when my opponent beats me, they know they've been in one hell of a fight. And he then takes on either Duran's Orcs or the very impressive Vampires of Shagrath. So, like I said, it doesn't get any easier. And then obviously he's got a potential match after that against Triporus's kill team of Chorfs. So yeah, he's got a tough draw. But I think he's got a chance. I think he's got a chance. I would play nice, but I am playing nice. I'm not playing nice. It's your fault we're in this thing. I'll concede you'll probably win, mate. But you are not going with bloody what you started with. Someone's got to go. Someone's going to die or miss a game. Otherwise, I'll be very upset. But I think he'll do well. I think Gimlick's. He knows, like you said, he knows how to play Necro. He's got a good chance. And the thing is, as well, is he has a very good record against Triporus's Case Dwarfs. He's probably got one of the better records against them. So I know for a fact Triporus is running scared of playing Moonlight, and he was extremely happy that he has to go through me first. I mean, Gimlick saying the gloves are off. Yeah, of course the gloves are off. It's the last bloody game. If you kill my team, what does it matter? They're going out anywhere.
The gloves are off anyway because you got Claw.
yeah. But I mean, I can see him beating me. I'm not a negative person. I just look at the teams, and he is a champ. I'm not a champ. He's a champ. He's the crowning champion. You don't win a championship if you're not very good. He is a top class player, especially with Necro. But like I said, it's a no-win. It's a win-win situation. Sorry for me. If I somehow win, it's great. But if I lose to one of my best mates. So, it's all good.
And the champion, the current champion.
Yeah, and the current champion as well. So there'll be no shame. I would just like a season where I miss the bad matchups, because this is a horrific matchup for me. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But I think he can do it. I think he'll do well against Duran or Shagrath, and he has it over what do we call him, Triporus. And I think he won't be worried about the Khemri. Kazos Elviunion, I don't think he'll be worried about them. So I can see him getting to the semi-finals at the very least. I think that's where he'll get to at least. So if they don't use the claw in our game, then I might have a chance, Gimlick. But teams tend to break my armor quite easily. But we will see. So I mean, the playoffs are underway. Just because obviously you're such a genius, the games that haven't been played, you're gonna tell me who wins and by what score, and we'll see how good of a tip you are. Bloody Elves of Demented versus Ratastical of Mutt. Who wins? What score?
It's kind of a tough one because with two fast teams, it's unpredictable how many touchdowns are scored. but I believe it's going to be a 3-2 victory for the Elves.
Ooh, okay. Ogre's Matron of Sergal versus local police of Du Pueblo of Dave, the scummy wizard Dave, as Cass used to call him.
Is that the human team, I believe?
It is the human team, yes.
It's a bit of a weird matchup, ogres for humans, because ogres can dish out some of the damage to humans, and humans can't exactly play the running away game with AG3 and not exactly as fast. So it's supposed to be a surprise, but I reckon it would be a 2-1 victory for the ogres.
Ooh, 2-1 for the ogres. Yeah, well, if anyone can get them ogres over the line, it's Sergal. Now then, Gasselmouth's Port Flashers against Flint Sora's Bretonians. The TVs are very similar, so there will be no Ingriff we trust for this one. Who do you think will win this one?
I reckon it'd be a 1-0 victory for the Port Flashers, and along with the 1-0 victory, there'll be a couple of casualties.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think, and obviously with the Nuffle altar as well, I don't know if he is a slightly higher TV, but you know what? He won't mind giving Los Senoritas 10-20k to get Fungus Saloon, no problem. So, yeah, I agree with that. Full Moon Killers versus Moonlight.
I'm sorry, Bernie, but I reckon it'd be a 3-1 victory for the Moonlight.
Ooh, dear me, 3-1. I've only ever once let 3 touchdowns in a playoff game, and that was my absolute nuffling against Rez, who went on to become champion. So yeah, if he scores 3, that means he's took most of my players off, because I do not let 3 touchdowns in. I can see him winning 2-0, 2-1.
Yeah.
Bear in mind though, most of my games, even when I'm the big underdog, do go into overtime. I don't know why, they just seem to go into overtime every game I seem to play. So, but 3-1, okay. I agree with you. I agree with your pick.
It may seem a bit crazy, but I've seen a lot. Just werewolves are crazy movement, and sometimes they want to score fast. So I have seen Necro get to certain crazy touchdowns, like 3 or 4 touchdowns, next to werewolves and ghouls. So
Yep. No, like I said, I agree with your selection. I just. For me to let 3 touchdowns in a game, something has to go badly wrong. Because obviously I'm a lot better defensive than I am offensive, and the potential of Wilhelm Cheney coming to help out the Full Moon Killers to give me 3 werewolves in the backfield means you know what, if you want to potato yourself down the land and be my guest, there'll be 3 wolves waiting for you. So I think Gimli's been a good coach. He'll take his time and try and pinch a 1-0, 2-1 win. I don't think he's going to be playing reckless. If he does, I'll win, but he won't. So he will win. Durran's Orcs versus Vampires of Shagrath. Who wins that one?
I reckon the Orcs will win it 2-0. I think the Vamps will suffer a deadly case of bloodlust everywhere.
Oh, okay. So
the bites will cause the thralls to go, and then the Orcs will just pound through.
Right, so you're going so basically, you're saying the Orcs. Then I think Shagrath until he just gets it with Vamps. I think the Vamps will probably do him over. Now the next one, Kemri, the classical club Kemri Tarzog, I think the coach is, versus Ulthwin Special Elven Union Casasosa's team. Who wins that one?
It's got to be. I'm sorry, it's got to be the Elven Union. It's Kemri really struggle against elves, and even though Elven Union are AB7, you just have to dodge around and just score, and you'll be fine. So I reckon it'll be a 3-0 victory for the Elves.
Yeah, I can see the Elves winning this. Kemri may score 1, but I mean, you don't even have to engage. I mean, the only concern I'd have if I was Elven Union was how do I get the ball off him? That would be my only concern, because if he cages up with 4 Tomb Guardians, but then again, you can just go into column defense if you want. I think it's a bad matchup for the Classical Cup. Like I said, AV7 might keep him in the game, but let's remember all his skeletons are just about AV7 as well. So, it's going to be a tough one. I think I agree with you. I think Ulthwan Special will win. I'm not exactly sure what sort of score line will be, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was 3-0. I think it's more likely to be 3-1 though. Now then, only for distraction, Azawin, another guy I upset. God, I upset a lot of people by beating them. He usually beats my ass. I beat his goblins and put his goblins out of commission, so he had to go with Norse. They're I think it's like 6-0. But he's against Red Bull, who were the top seed of the full competition. Now we know, or I keep telling people, finishing top is a curse. Only one team in 8 seasons before this has got through the first round. 7 top seeds have crashed out the first round. Teddy, is Red Bull going to go with the curse and crash out first round as well, or is he going to take out the 2-time champ Azawin?
I mean, the curse is a thing, but when you think about what the teams are, Goblins versus Chaos Dwarfs, not going to be a fun ride for the Goblins. So I reckon the Red Bull will take that in quite an easy 2-0 victory.
The thing is, though, this isn't his Goblins. This is Norse. It's Norse versus Chorfs.
Oh, it's Norse. I thought.
Yeah, sorry, I knocked his Goblins out. So he was trying to go in with Goblins, and I beat him, and he just couldn't get.
Right.
So he had to go with Norse. So it's Norse v Chorfs.
Oh, sorry, because you said Arswayne, I thought it was the Goblins because that was the team he was running for most of the season.
It is Arswayne, but he didn't qualify with Goblins. He's qualified with Norse. So yes, it is Arswayne, but it's Norse. Does that make a difference?
Oh, Norse. Slight difference, but I still think Red Bull will take a 1-0 victory. Just AV7 is still AV7, and Chaos Force will just take them down.
I can see this going into overtime, 2-1. I mean, I predicted that because I will never go against Arswayne because he's two-time champion, and every time I play him, I mean, I played him again with Orcs, Armor Nan, and he got 17 armor breaks. This guy just rolls hot dice for armor breaks, and if you can take 4 or 5 players off the pitch, even my son can bloody beat teams when you're only playing 6 players. But the thing is, as well as Arswayne is positionally very good, is an awesome coach, is 2-time champion. I'd rather be in his corner than Red Bull, because the thing about Red Bull is I looked at his matchups, I wasn't impressed. He has a fantastic record, but he missed a lot of the big guns of the Ps4, and I wanted to see him see how he did against them. So there's a big question mark over that, and the curse is real. You finish top, it's an absolute disaster. And obviously, he's finished top and he's run into 2-time champion Arswayne, so that's not a good signing. So I went with Norse, but you gone with
I could definitely see this game. I went with the Cross, but like you said, I definitely could see them going into overtime. But I think the Red Bull would get a slight 1-0 victory because I think the injuries will start piling on, and then eventually it'd be too tough to defend. Yeah,
that's the key, isn't it? It's the armor breaks. If he can start breaking Norse armor quickly, then it's even as good as Arswayne is. If he loses the number game, then he's going to have a bit of a bother. So fair enough. Now then, these next 2 teams have been smashed. They have been absolutely murdered. The Listerine Giants, really impressed with them. Freeman, fantastic coach. And then poor old Stu Hoppy ran into my Wolves and my Necro on a going day, and we caused absolute carnage, wrecking his team. So both these teams are coming into this competition absolutely beaten to a pulp. So it's a tough one, this one. You're with the Orcs, or are you with the Lizards?
I'm with the Scaly Lizards on this one. I just think the Skinks will be... The Skinks, I think, will be the deciding factor, just being able to just dodge around and just be well protected by the Saurus. I mean, the Saurus can take on the Black Orcs and vice versa, but I think the Skinks will be the key in that matchup, and I think the Lustrian Giants will snatch away a 2-1 victory in overtime. Yeah,
it's a close one, this, because they're both very, very good coaches. His Skinks, though, they're all just garbage now because obviously he's lost them all. So it's going to be like basic Skinks going to have to do the job for him. Oh, I thought this was a really toss of the coin one. I think I ended up going for the Lustrian Giants just because I've just seen how Freeman connects with his Lizards, and it's really, really good. But yeah, I think it's going to be a toss of a coin, that one. Now the next one. Now this one got the triple B rating, if my memory serves me. And then I did the previews of these teams today. And I was like, I may have gone wrong here. But it's the Halflings of Conan Palo against Tupavara Giants, who are Kislev. Who wins this one?
Well, considering Kislev can just about bust into a cage easily, and against Halflings it's a bit easier. But on the other side of the spectrum, they are quite weak, and with the right inducements, they cause Kislev some trouble. But I reckon the Halflings will take this in overtime. I think it'll just be a slight 2-1 victory.
Yeah, I basically gave the triple B rating to the Kislev. Because, they're just going to be able to jump in, punch his lights out, get the ball, and score. And they still might be able to. But I did the previews. Because I said, I'm doing all the teams each getting their own segment, about 5-minute videos. And I look at these teams, and the Halflings are going to get inducements, no surprise there. But the Kislev team's pretty battered. They've only got 11 players, and one of them is going to be a loader. And I was thinking, God, if them trees get going, and oh God, it could be down to about 6-7 players. So it's not as as easy as I thought it was going to be. But you know what? You've got the triple B rating, Top of Air Giant, so I expect you to win. Don't let me down. I remember one year I bloody said Stumpumper was going to hammer his opponent, give him the triple B rating, and he put in the worst performance of his Blood Bowl life, and they got hammered. And what happened? They all started blaming me for cursing him. Don't see how that can be possible. But I'm sticking with the Kislev, because really Kislev should win this. But after looking at the teams, I ain't as confident as I was. But if you get the triple rating, B rating, you're going to win it, so don't worry about it. Now then, the last one's a bit stupid to ask you, really. Who's going to win between your tip for the championship, Lemons, versus kind of a big deal, Mercy Flush and his Nagel? And what score is it going to be?
I can definitely see this game going to overtime, but I reckon it'll be a 2-1 victory for Lemons. I just think, yes, Nurgle are quite killy, but I think Lemons does have like at least 15 players, so even if you do remove them, you've still got quite a few army to get there. So I reckon Lemons would take that. I just think the numbers would be too much for Nurgle to try and grind down. Yeah,
it's because like when I was doing the review on the Nurgle team, the TV is really high for what they've got, and I just that is with Chaos Nurgle. Your TV is always ridiculously high, so that's always going to be a problem. But yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I haven't seen enough of Projecki with Skaven. Like I said, when I played him, I beat him and I wasn't impressed. His Kislev I was impressed with, so I need to see more from the Skaven coach. He might quite easily whoop Mess Flush's backside, and I'll be like, wow, Teddy's right, he's an awesome player. It might have just been a bad day at the office, but I want to see more from him. So I think that's why I probably tipped Nagel, but there you go. So there you go. That's all the game's got left. Teddy has shocked me. He's saying Lemons are going to win. So we'll see. We'll see. And obviously, I agree with him that I think Gasselmal's team will do well also. Now then, all that's out the way. Let's get onto the soapbox, because I've been chomping away at this for a while. Let's get bitching. Right, first of all on the list, bloody chorfs. What is it with people playing bloody chorfs all the time? I am fed up of spinning my teams and running into Chaos Dwarf after Chaos Dwarf after Chaos fucking Dwarf. Teddy, why is everyone playing chorfs? Tell me, please.
Everyone's playing chorfs because they're just a solid team. They're going to be great against all the early stunty and dodgy teams like Amazons, Goblins, Underworld, Halflings, Goblins. They're just going to be great and just take them down quite easily. And even if they're not playing the stunty teams, they're quite solid in against all the other matchups. There's no real difficult matchup for Chaos Dwarves early on. They're just a very strong team when they open the gates, and then they just escalate and get more powerful, and it just gets out of hand. So that's why you're seeing so many Corfs around. It's just it just has a solid matchup across the board, and they're most consistent against pretty much all the different teams. Because some teams you see they do have a bit of a mismatch.
Yeah.
Like, when people start the season, they go, "What's a good solid team to just spin with?" Most of the time, it's going to be Chaos Dwarves. So that's why you're seeing so many Chaos Dwarves around, and then that's why we see in the soapbox and the cladder, like always the top, and like the top seed last season and the current top seed are both Corfs.
Yeah.
It's just an all-round solid team, and they're just good at every possible matchup.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I see a lot of hate for Chaos Kill teams. You know, especially obviously Cass. Obviously, he usually runs his Chaos teams, and obviously everybody is like, you know, oh god, you know, these kill teams. But it seems a lot of the time these chorfs go under the radar. It's like, you know, we can get Clora and Pile and on, and we'll kill your team and wreck it. But not many people go on about them. Chaos are always the team who are the boogeyman. They're the bad people. They're the ones that they should all burn in hell, sort of thing. Chorf guys seem to get away with it. It's like, oh yeah, it's all right. But to me, all I'm playing is chorfs, and it's just so soul destroying. Oh, it's not just that it just bores me playing the same race over and over again, and that's why this season I've gone Chaos. But then it's took me an age to get a bloody claw piece. I've now got one Mighty Blow claw piece, and I've got two close by, because I've thought, you know what, I am going hunting for these bloody chorf teams. I am fed up of them. I don't usually play Chaos. Ironically, the last time I played Chaos, I obviously was top seed, but you know, I'm just fed up with them. So that's the reason why I'm going Chaos, because I'm going after the chorfs. It probably won't work. They'll probably kick me ass. But I am on the Chaos Dwarf season of hunting has begun and the Chaos are after them. But I just don't. I mean, I play Chuffs and they're all right. I just don't think they're as good as they are. But it seems like everybody's on the bandwagon, and I don't know if people in the chat. I mean, obviously Dulcie, and considering Chuffs being everywhere, then what's a good team to spin to deal with them? Well, Teddy doesn't seem to think there is one. I think a nice juicy Chaos kill team with Guard, Mighty Blow, Claw, and all that pile and on's good. I know a lot of Chuff plays. A fearful of Necro tooled up because they have got the wolves who can smack, hit them, and then run back out, and they've got regen as well, so they've got cheap players who can foul. So I think Necro to go well up against them. I mean, who do you think has the best chance against Chuffs, Ted?
I could give you at least 3 teams I think have a very good chance. If you're spinning against Quarfs and you want to hunt them down, there's 3 teams that are really good against them because they have a big weakness, and that is they struggle against teams that have higher strength in general. So, for example, Khemri is a really tough matchup for Quarfs because the Tomb Guardians, they just take down the Chaos Dwarfs no problem. The Bull Centaurs might be a bit of a problem, but overall Khemri just can outlast them. They do have the skeletons at AV7, but they do have the thick skulls, so they're more likely to stay on the pitch than the Hobgoblins.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
One second.
Good pick. Yep. So while he's doing that, Dolce, and what's your gamer tag on the game? I don't recognise it. Are you on PS4, PC, Xbox One? Beers, nice to see you in the chat, buddy. Just stopped to talk about the Case Nation. That's me this season, up into 3rd. Lost a few, but 2 of them were due to blue screens. But I am flying the flag for the Case Nation this season, Beers. So I'll try and do you proud, buddy.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that, everyone.
That's all right.
I just seem to be causing a bit of problem.
Don't worry about it. Don't say that's fair enough. I don't do a lot. Even though I've got Bloodbowl on the PC, I don't see many of the things on there. But yeah, that's fine. So you're on about your Khemri being a big.
Khemri, Orcs would be is very good against Chaos Dwarfs because the Black Orcs are strength 4. You can put them all together and then you can get the troll. And all of them are AV9, so it's going to be hard for them to take them down. While they've only got Hobgoblins, which are quite easy to take down. So Orcs are another bad matchup for Chaos Dwarfs early on if everyone's struggling against them. And another team that Dwarfs struggle against is Lizardmen. Now you might think it's a bit strange considering the Skinks, they're going to get crushed easy, but you can have at least 6 Saurus and a Croxigore, and that's a lot of strength for the course to try and push through.
Yeah. I've seen that happen before. I think the thing what makes the Chase Dwarfs a bit scary is when they get Claw, and when they get Mighty Blow and Claw, they can start chewing through these high armored teams, and obviously they're going to get Guard as well. So usually you'll end up seeing 6 Chuffs with Guard as well. So it's.
Yeah, but I think the problem with Course though is that you don't see it as much because Mutations is a double. It's not a normal roll. Yeah. So you only see maybe 1 or 2 pieces with Claw. So that's why Chaos Dwarfs don't get as much slack as say Chaos from Nurgle, because that's normal for them.
Yeah. But the thing is they can get Claw and Guard and everything else. Where the thing with Chaos and Nurgle is they spend. I mean, I saw it with the Nurgle team. You're like 1700 and odds, and you've only got things like block and a smattering of Mighty Blow. You haven't even got any Claw at that TV value. You know, it's crazy. And like I said, I've seen teams. I mean, Groovy is a nightmare to play against. I mean, the amount of times he had like 3-4 Claw pieces, Mighty Blow piling on, and he is just wrecking through teams. And what we've got to remember as well is this is not like a normal system. You can play as many games as you want on Blood Bowl with your Chuffs in this format. So you are going to get a lot of chances. I know for a fact some people, if they don't get a double on, say, one of their players, if they got the money, they'll sack him and try again until they get the Claw pieces. So, you know, I like you have made a very good point in that basically, because most times or not they don't have loads of Claw, they don't get enough stickers like Chaos
and
Nurgle. Yeah. But yeah, and like Bezos said, unless it's Monmo's team, Monmo obviously in the MML's got Claw all over the place. So yeah, it's one of those things. I'm just fed up of rolling into these all the time. I mean, I suppose I ain't going to be too bothered when I've got my Mighty Blow Claw piling on. And, you know, it's just a frustration of thinging. But it just gets boring when you're playing the same old every time. And it's like, my friend's like, oh, I've got, like, elves or I've got undead or, you know, something different. And I'm like, Chuffs. Chorfs, and it just does
Yeah,
me head in.
I know. A few times I've said like, "Oh, I've got ogres again," or "I've got halflings again."
Yeah, and I'm like, God damn it, Teddy, give me them. I mean, I may not win, but it's fun, and I might get some XP. But no, I'm going against mainly Armor 9, and then what I do is I might blow the Hobgoblins, and they apparently, if I'm lucky, I might get a stun or a knockout, but they never get injured. So it's like, it's one of those things, and I just wanted to know everyone's view on them. I mean, Baze is in the chat about Chaos. I mean, do you think Chaos get a really bad deal about it? Do you think people should be nice until my Orcs own them in 2 rounds trip? Joran, you got to get through the Vamps first, and then you got to get through the Champ.
I was going to say, the 3 teams I did say earlier that I recommend if you want to take on the Chaos Dwarves, those are the 3 teams I would peg down as possibly the worst matchups for Chaos Dwarves, or a match they would definitely struggle in.
Yeah. I mean,
that's just their general weakness. They just struggle against more general higher strength teams.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, I just Chorfs to me. I mean, I'm resisting myself trying them myself. I'm saying no, Benny, don't do that, Benny. But sometimes it's one of those, if you can't beat them, join them sort of things. But there we go. Anyway, next thing on the agenda: blue screens. Fuck me, am I pissed with blue screens yet again? I am quite lucky that I still get them, but I don't get as many as certain other people. But since Legendary Edition has come out, fuck me, have I been getting screwed over. My Chaos team, 2 blue screens. And like I've said many times before, these blue screens come not when I'm losing, not when I'm getting my ass kicked, it's when I'm in cruise control.
When you're winning.
Oh yes, that makes it even worse. And like I said, I've now got 5 losses on my Chaos team, what's horrendous for me. But 2 of them should be wins, or at the very worst, draws. So it's costing people positioning. And Trip's bad argument is, yeah, but how many wins have you got from blue screens? That's not the issue. I haven't this season anyway, but the point is, after having so many years of blue screens, surely by now, Ps4 and Cyanide should have had this resolved. There should be no excuse.
Yeah.
There's no excuse. It should be done.
Yeah.
They work the backside off with a lot of other stuff. I've been talking to Gillimer today about it. The big wig of the technical department in the admin chat about it. And they do know about it. They know it's getting worse, and it's so much got to be resolved. My honest opinion is, I don't think they know how to resolve it. That's the issue. Yeah. And the fact is, I know a lot of people. It's like the blame game. A lot of people blaming the PS4. But the thing is, I never get blue screens on any other game. So why is it, on this one? And like I said, it's so frustrating because I was playing in the early hours this morning. I played the top necro guy. And the only thing I could think of was, oh my God, I'm winning. But shit, I opened a blue screen. And again, I played Afro Chef, the same again. Fucking hell, I should be enjoying this. I'm outplaying him. I'm winning. I'm going to level up. But you know one thing, please no blue screen, because I will flip.
The blue screen's always at the back of your mind, and you can't really enjoy the game.
And that's the main issue. That is my main issue. When I go on the Xbox, no problem. PC's even better, because obviously if you disconnect, you can reconnect again. So it's fantastic. But the problem I've got is I play mainly PS4. And it's like, oh my God, I think I've got 2-3 concedes through blue screens already this season. I'm only a week into the bloody thing, so I might even get disqualified. And it's no fault of my own. It's because they cannot get this thing sorted. And someone needs to do it. That's my opinion. Duran saying he's had blue screens on other games. I never have. But something has to be done. It's just too much of a common thing across the full board. Because the key thing to me is, PS4 and Xbox, forget Xbox, PS4, the community isn't massive, but you see a high percentage of the coaches complaining of a blue screen costing them of a win or a spot. And we've had it twice already in the Cup competition where blue screen has knocked 2 teams out. Can you imagine 6 weeks of grind and then being knocked out of the competition on a blue screen, what you have no power to do with? And that is why it really annoys me. And it's sad as an admin seeing in our chats these poor guys getting annoyed or getting depressed with these blue screens. But it only takes 1 or 2 blue screens to knock you off your stride. And, basically saying not very often on Blood, like BB2. Yeah, basically other games, he's saying basically, yeah, it might happen on a rare occasion, but not as many times as on obviously on Blood Bowl 2. I not only have blue screen, but game breaking blue BS after a ton of progress. Yeah. I don't know. I just think it's something they've got to resolve, and it worries me because I don't think they have a clue how to resolve it, and it might be something we're just going to have for the rest of the thing. But unlike the PC, who has a massive fan base, the PS4 doesn't, and we can't be losing players to blue screens, and we have done, and that's a shame because the game's great. It's just that people don't want to spend time on a game and then get blue screened. It costs V-Power V. His playoff spot where Nazarene refused to replay the game, and then we had another guy a couple of seasons ago where he blue screened, and to be fair, his opponent said, you know what, we'll replay it, but he was like, screw this, I had doing this shit, and he wouldn't replay it and said, look, good luck, and you went, and that was it. So it to me, it's like we're losing players to the PS4 community. They're not important enough. Surely their money is just as good as PC or Xbox. And something needs to resolve. But like I said, do you think it's not that they don't want to resolve it, they just don't have a clue how to resolve it?
It's probably just to do with just how to resolve it properly, and as well, unlike with the PC where you do hotfixes, with Microsoft and Sony, they have to get permission, then they have to wait a couple of days before they can actually do the update. With PC, it's more straight. Okay, we can do this, bang bang, sorted. With Sony and Microsoft, you have to wait, get the permission, say yes, you're allowed to do this, then they can implement the update. So that's the reason. And then I don't know, it's just blue screens do happen here. When I first started playing, I kept getting them, but then I found my way of working around that issue most of the time. Like, there are other issues that cause me to blue screen, like if I keep spamming the reroll button when in a game when I fail a roll, eventually I will blue screen. Or another example is after a game, I think me and Trip have had this issue. After a game, if you go to your team sheet and start swapping players around, you start blue screening.
Yeah, I do that a lot. Yeah, I've had that problem as well.
But I think the main issue is like just people disconnecting mid-game. It's the way I found a workaround for this. It's going to be a bit tedious, but play one game and then afterwards close the application down and then reopen it again if you want to carry on playing. That seems to somehow reset the blue screen issue, and you won't blue screen as often as much.
Yeah, I mean,
not at all, to be honest.
That's what I do, and that's why I've been annoyed this season. Because after every game, and obviously people know when they watch me stream my games, I'm like, I'll get like loads of people in the thing. We're all having a good time. I'm like, sorry guys, I'm gonna have to restart my PS4 because I don't want a blue screen. And like I said, but this season I've been doing that as I always do, and I've been getting blue screens, and it's like I'm now into that bad mental thing of like, even when I'm winning, I can't really enjoy it because it's like, shit, wipe a blue screen. And it's my opinion, this is not a new thing. That's what annoys me. This has been going on since it came out. So it's been going on for years, and how it can't be resolved is beyond me. There's a lot of, obviously, finger pointing, but I think for the good of the PS4 community, it has to be done. I know that the Xbox have got their own issue, and I've made Gillemere aware of it today because nobody had made him aware that obviously the wireless connection of Blood Bowl on the Xbox, it seems to drop a lot. So a lot of people are getting not blue screens, but getting disconnected, what's costing them games. When I first went onto the Xbox, I had the same problem. I'd be playing games, and halfway through a game would disconnect on wireless. I then put it in as a wired, so I took my wire on my PC, put it into my Xbox. Never had an issue. So even the Xbox have got a few problems with crashes and that as well. So, I'm sure they'll resolve it. But as I think Serious Jester said to a lot of people on blue screens, just keep spamming the forums. The more people complain about it, the more that Cyanide will realise, shit, this is getting crazy now. This is a problem. They wasn't aware of the problem, the Xbox, until this morning. So this is why I'm said we all bitch about it, but we still need to put on the forums to let them aware of it. Because if they don't know, they aren't mind readers. We don't tell them, then they ain't gonna know. They think everything's fantastic and everything's hunky dory. So please, if you've got a problem, put it on the forums and or tell me, and I'll tell them. I'll tell them in the admin chat, because obviously I speak to all the bigwigs in there, so Nethos and all that, and I will tell you, they work the backside off. They really are a fantastic bunch, of people that really are trying to do the best. You know, they are, honestly. Nethos works so hard. Gillimer does as well. So please don't think they don't care, because they do. And I know I'm bitching about it, but I speak to them on a daily basis, and they love Blood Bowl, and they'll do their very best to get things sorted. And I think their communication with people has got a lot better. And like I said, they have done. I mean, if you remember Blood Bowl 1 on the consoles, it was an absolute fucking joke. They've done everything they can on Blood Bowl 2 to bring it to the consoles at the same rate as they do on the PC, and they should be applauded for that. My only negative, and I'll still do this until it gets resolved, is blue screens. I personally don't think that they know how to deal it. Because a lot of people say it's the PlayStation's fault, it's not the Blood Bowl's fault. If it is, I don't know, but it needs resolving. It really does need resolving, as simple as that. And that's my take on it. Have you got anything else to say about screens, or you done?
They can be a problem when it starts plaguing the game, and I think it's starting to get to that point at this stage. But I can't remember the last time I blue screen. I think the last time I blue screen was like a couple months ago.
Yeah.
But like, just the way I just work around it, it just always seems fine. It's a bit tedious, I know, the way I do it, which is just to close the app down and then reopen it.
Yeah.
Because then you have to restart a stream, like you've mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and
it's pretty much the only way I found to like stop this issue from occurring for me.
Yeah, and to be fair, when I do that, it's not been a problem. It's only since Legendary Edition has come out that it's now done it like 2-3 times. And I even yesterday when I went in to try and watch the bits of the game between SC Wyatt's game, it blue screen getting me there. I'm like, oh my god, that could have been a game I was in. And it starts playing on your mind. And when you stop enjoying a game, and if you're going into a competition, if it's a friendly or something, it doesn't really matter. And if it's in a private league, it's not of a problem. But when you're a cup competition like this, then it is a freaking big problem, because, like I say, you can have 6 concedes. After that, it's over. It doesn't matter if you're the top team or not. If you get that 7th concede, it's gone. Simple as that.
Yeah, cheers, if you do it twice in a season,
yeah,
and then you get banned for the 3rd one, I believe.
Yep. So
that's the rule.
So it is a harsh thing. And like I said, I've been quite lucky. I don't get that many, but obviously I read and very sympathetic when I see coaches very upset that they've had these things, you know. And it's not fair on them. It's something. It's hard enough trying to get a win against good coaches. You shouldn't have to worry about blue screens. You know, that should be something not in the game. And I just hope, you know, people just keep spamming on the Ps4, keep sending on the forums, technical forum, just keep doing it, because honestly, they do read the stuff. If we got about 100 people now go on the thing about blue screens, I can guarantee you in the admin chat and the technical forums, they'll be talking, saying, holy shit, we've got to get this sorted. But people need to complain. Simple as that. Nothing gets done if you keep quiet. So, you know, keep bitching. But
to be fair, like sometimes when I'm playing against someone and I'm losing a little bit, I'll be like, God, I hope you blue screens.
Like, you nasty man.
I hope you blue screens now.
Yeah,
blue screen. And then I remember one time where it did actually happen. I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
super happy.
Yeah, I remember my son, and I was helping him play. You know, he was getting into it. Mighty Chaz, you know, obviously Chazza, and he was playing Fantfox. And he was beating Fanfox. I mean, Fanfox, obviously, a fantastic coach. 10-16, and boom, it went on him. And he was devastated, because obviously he was only, 12 then as well. He was absolutely devastated. I felt gutted for him, because obviously, not only would he have won, but he would beat one of the best players. Fanfox is very sympathetic, because he's a true champ. But what I'm saying is, I could console him, but if that was another kid got the game, and, oh yeah, excellent, I'm going to win one of the best players, and then that happens, it's so cruel, and it puts people off. Because when you've got games like FIFA on the Mac and that, people don't want to be playing a game, spend an hour in a game, and all of a sudden, whoa, blue screen cost me.
All that progress is for nothing.
Yeah, or you've got an undefeated 7-0 team in the championship, woohoo, and then a blue screen costs you, and yeah, there's your undefeated tag gone, no fault of your own, and it does put people off, and you know, the console players can't afford to lose players on games like this. PC, no problem, we get that, but they ain't got any issues. You know,
my belief is if it there's going to be issues, but if it gets to the point where it's starting to lower the popularity and you know players start leaving, then that's when I believe that's going to start causing issues.
Yeah, and that's my concern. And you know, it's just one of those things that I just wish they could do. You know, it's the only bad thing about the game. I haven't got any other hate on the game. I think they're doing a fantastic job. They're getting rid of the bugs. They're working tirelessly on everything else. You know, and that's fine. I just wish people would take the blue screen seriously, because I don't think people do. I really don't. You know.
I'm mixed with this. I don't really take it seriously because it just doesn't happen to me.
Yeah.
When it does happen, I'm a bit annoyed, but I just think it's just one of those things. Obviously, people think differently.
Yeah.
You're a bit more upset about it in general, which is fine. It just shows your passion.
Yeah.
But for me, it's just like, a blue screen. It's annoying, but it's just how it is.
I think if you blue screen a few more times, though, Ted, in games, you get more annoyed. If it's once every so often, you can sort of take that. But I suppose what it is, because I talk to a huge amount of people on the PS4, loads, and I've got so many chats going on, and a lot of them do blue screen, and I can feel the pain, and they're upset, and I feel people saying, you know what, I've had enough of this game, and that's the last thing I want to hear is people say, you know what, I've had enough. I don't want to play it anymore. And then you're losing players. And then the community gets smaller, it gets weaker, and then Cyanide don't get as much cash because that's less people to buy the stuff. And it's a knock-on effect, and that's the biggest concern. But hey-ho. Anyway.
Yeah, but I always feel bad for my opponent when he disconnects. I always message him saying sorry about the blue screen.
Yeah.
Because it does suck when it happens, but...
Yeah, it's a good win for you, but I feel gutted because it is such a bad thing, and obviously when it happened to me and obviously other people, you can appreciate, can't you? How bad it is, especially if the guy's winning it. It's not good. But anyway, we're now up to the most important part of the show, the battle of the consoles, Teddy. You are the anorak of the PS4. You are going to get tested this week. The PS4 team were in cruise control in the battle of the consoles. There was 4-1 up, 4-2. They was in cruise control. And all of a sudden now, it's PS4 team 4, Xbox One crew 3. Now, the Xbox crew, he did amazing. Space Magic W, probably one of the best players on the Xbox, showed he also knows his thing about the game as well. He answered 6 questions right out of 6 in the 60 seconds he had. So, Teddy, you need to answer 6 questions to get a tie to keep the PS4 crew top of the battle of the consoles. If you get 5 or less, then it's a draw at the moment. It'll be all to play for next week. But we know that if anybody can get 6 or more, it's you. Are you confident, Teddy?
I got 7 last time out of 10.
Yeah, well, there you go. You see, I like it. This is going to be good. A little late here, but can watch the important... Oh, yes, little Yoshi, it is, mate. We've been bitching about blue screens, Chaos Dwarfs, and various stuff. But yeah, it is now time for the most important bit. So just bear with me one moment.
In terms of fairness, I have not watched the Blood in the Box show because I didn't want to know what the questions were ahead of time.
It's different questions, buddy. Now they're both on.
Now
because they're both on Twitch, I do different questions, so it's only fair for everybody else. So I'm just getting my timer countdown ready.
That's fine.
But little Yoshi's one of the Xbox crew, so everybody's going to see what happens. Obviously, you know the score. I'll ask you first question, then the time will start. You have 60 seconds to answer as many questions as you can. There is 10 questions on there. And basically, that's basically what we do. So best of luck. My timer is almost ready, and if you're ready,
I'm ready when you say your first question.
Okay, now then. Right, stat line of a troll, a normal troll.
4519.
Correct. What race was it that scored the winning penalty goal in season 1?
Dwarves.
Wrong. Who costs more, Griff Oberwald or Varric Gulchewer?
Griff Overwald.
Correct. How much does Brickfarth cost?
Brickfarth. It's 260.
Wrong. How many Skaven pieces can you have in an Underworld team?
6.
Who costs more, Bomber Dribblesnot or Fungus the Loon?
Fungus the Loon.
Correct. How much does a Halfling reroll cost after one game?
120.
I got it down as 100, but I forgot to check that one. Maximum amount of rerolls you can have in a game?
8.
Correct. What nega trait do Skaven in an Underworld team have?
Animosity.
Correct. And we are out of time, so let me go through that. I've really forgot to... I thought it was 100k for the halfling one, but we'll go and have a look at that now.
I think it's 120 because I think there are 60k for rerolls.
I was getting these questions done earlier, and I was supposed to check that. I think you may be right. We'll have a look. So you said 120k, but let's have a look. It was 120k, so you get that correct as well. So let me have a look. You had 6 to beat, so you got the troll one right. What race was it that scored the winning penalty goal in Season 1 against me? It was, and I was dwarfs. It was the bloody Tunk the Tree. Who cost more? Yes, it was Griff. Brickfarth cost 290 grand. So you got 2 right so far. Yep. How many Skaven pieces? 6. You got that right. That's 3. Who costs more? Yes, Fungus Saloon. That's 4. How much does a halfling reroll cost? 120. That's right. That's 5. Maximum amount of rerolls is 8. You got that right. 6. And what nega trait does the Skaven Underworld have? Who said was Animosity? That is correct. Animosity. That is 7. You have beaten. Oh, little Yoshi, look at him. No, don't be having into 16 rerolls. So you have beaten Space Magic W by 1 point. You are the Anorak. You are the mastermind of Blood Bowl. And the PS4 crew, they are happy as Larry, because that means it's now PS4 5, the Xbox One team 3, and PS4 is obviously saying they're the top dogs, and it's going to be tough for the Xbox to come back from this. So congratulations, Teddy Tom. You have done yourself proud, and the PS4 crowd will be asking you to get knighted the Xbox One Slayer. So there we go. That basically is us done for another show.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Bernie, for letting me come on.
Always a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure. Everybody loves Teddy, Tom. They all love you, and everybody wants to know is, come on, ask Teddy who's going to win it this season. Well, I'll tell you now. There's no way that bloody Lemon's winning it. I'm going to go against him. So they probably will now. But can Lightning strike twice? Can Gimlick become the 2-time champion, one after the other? And can Mystic Ted do the double as well? He told you Gimlick would win it last season. He's now telling you that Lemon.
I told you he'd win it 2-0 in the final, and you were like, "No, Bernie."
No,
you were like, "No, Ted." That was never going to happen.
To be fair, though, our media, when he started fireballing his own players, you know I was in trouble. You know I was in trouble. He completely lost the plot. If our media turned around to me and said, you know what, Benny, I'm feeling the pressure, it's a final, I'm going to do stupid shit like, I don't know, fireball my own players, then you know what, I might have said, you know what, maybe it'd be a 3-0. Obviously Gimlick handled the pressure, our media didn't, and you are right, you got it right 2-0. So the thing is, can you get it right again? I tell you what, Teddy, if Lemon and Projecki win this, I will be in awe. You will be a legend. I will be asking the Queen to come and fricking give you a knighthood if they do it, because I cannot see this team winning it. I can't. And Projecki's going to be like, that Bernie Buffon, what a complete wanker. Always having a go at me. Sorry, it's just the way I am. I just tell it how it is. Oh, man, it'll be amazing. But like I said, best of luck to Gimlick. I know I'm playing against Gimlick. We're going to try and beat each other to a pulp, but if you get through as I expect you will, I'll be cheering for the rest of the tournament. And I hope your Lemon and Projecki, they go far, because I think it'll be really exciting to see them do well, especially because it's your tip, and obviously you've got a big massive fan base now as Teddy, a much bigger fan base than that Tripperus, but at least Tripperus did say yeah, absolutely, everyone loves it, everyone loves you. Oh yeah, they do. And the good thing about Trip though is I did have him on my show, and he did say that the postman does deliver, so at least he is learning his Trip, bless him. But he can't win, got to go through me. Well, I tell you what, we'll see. You've got to worry about the bloody vampires yet, Duran. Duran, are you playing your game today? I know you said you was out. I know Shagroth was very persistent to try and play today. Is there any chance of your game going on today at all? Well, he's saying that. Like I said, best luck to everybody in the playoffs. Like I said, I'm. Do you know what? I'm quite excited to see Projecki play now, because you've obviously given him a big rap. Thursday. Oh, that's interesting, because I'm going to be asking Gimlick to see if we can play our game on Thursday as well, because I think Thursday is a better day for me. But I'm really excited to see this Projecki, because you've given him big raps, and as we know, Teddy Tom knows his stuff. So if Teddy Tom says Projecki can play and he's real good with Skaven, then this guy can obviously play really good with Skaven. So that is us done though, guys. Thanks again for Teddy Tommy. He is an amazing co-announcer and you know everything about it and it's fantastic. And we're trying to get...
It's no problem. Thank you for letting me come on.
It's a pleasure. I always like to have you on. Apparently, Bezo, the Dana Rock legend of the MML, is trying. He keeps nagging me to come onto my show, and it's like, well, you got to be on the same time as me, Bezo. So we're trying to get Bezo on next week. Now, Bezo, if nobody knows, is a real life friend of mine, and he is in. He lives in Hull like I do, and the girls like him because he's a hunky fireman. Tuss, but give us nerds any day of the week. So he's hopefully going to be on. He's had a bad season. I think he needs counselling for his bad dice he's been getting. I think he's been getting worse than me, and that takes some doing. But so hopefully we'll have him back next week. We're going to try and get back to the Thursday. We'll have a look at the season 10 in a lot more detail because obviously by then it'll be on another week and it'll fleshed out a bit more. And we'll go into that with a great detail. But the thing is, at the moment, what we've learned today is that Teddy knows his stuff. Lemon's got to win the championship, and Ps4 are the top dogs in Battle of the Consoles. And talking about dogs, we better not because we got in trouble with that on the Xbox. Let's kick an iguana instead. So thanks again, and see you all later. Take care. Have fun on Bloodbowl pitch, and kick some shit. See you later.
Yeah.